What is up, my Galaxians? It's Dr. Wookiee. Hoping everybody's doing really well. I meant to do a Gala film light paper video, had my notes and everything, but guess what? Legal update dropped, and it was very interesting. Something about 8,000 nodes being possibly given away as well. So let's just jump right in and have a good discussion here. Now, essentially, this first one right here, yeah, it's 100 pages, okay? This is Wright's answer and response in his complaints. So, you know, in case you want to subscribe, maybe give me a like because I have to read so much of this stuff. Or give me a super thanks. That would be super awesome down below for the work that I have to do on these. Anyways, just a couple things I wanted to point out in this 100-page thing before we hop on. Now, the defendants admit that they moved Gala to private wallets and have exchanged or sold approximately 3 billion Gala tokens. So we did know that he sold about that many, which means he burned or lost 5.5 billion Gala that Eric Schurmeyer burned. Now, he does, state that he did not steal it, is his, statement in here. Between approximately 2021 and 2023 is when he sold that 3 billion Gala. And one quick thing for Wright Thurston too, he does admit that the SEC sued him for the whole green blockchain thing, but the Honorable Bruce Jenkins did dismiss the fraud charges that the SEC had brought against him. So I wanted to point those two things out in this. This is 100 pages. If you want me to go into detail with this or, just take more time to read through it, give me some love down below, all right? Now this bad boy, 20 pages, not going to cover this whole thing too. Basically, he is saying, hey, I want my nodes turned back on, which is understandable. And I'm not going to go into all details about that. Now let's jump into what is super, super interesting in here, okay? Now this is where he put some of the exhibits and screenshots. On May 26th, 2023, I became concerned about a scheme by Schurmeyer to steal True North, Wright Thurston's founder node licenses and distribute them to Gala Game employees. His concern arose from a communication to Gala Game employees attached hereto in Exhibit 1, which we'll look at in a minute, which announced that 8,000 founder nodes would be given to Gala Game employees. Now, because there are less than 8,000 Gala node licenses remaining from that initial 50,000, which is true, let's look at the Wookiee math over here. There are roughly about 7,100-ish nodes left. So he is right that there are not 8,000 nodes left in that 50,000 pool. So he makes the assumption that his nodes, his 7,000 nodes, as well as Connect, apparently another entity that he's affiliated with, which has 1,000 nodes, will get that to that promised 8,000 node number. So he became aware of this on May 26th in that screenshot that we'll show here in Slack. And essentially that the Gala Game employees, those 8,000 nodes, he was concerned, said, hey, Eric, what is this deal? And Eric Schurmeyer said, oh, that's a plan that they thought about, but that it's on hold at this time and not moving forward. However, we'll look at some other exhibits that basically show that it looks like it has been processing forward, even though it has not yet been implemented. Now, perhaps the most troubling thing that Wright Thurston stated is that on October 30th, 2023, he became aware that Schurmeyer, in fact, was moving forward with that plan to distribute these 8,000 founder node licenses to the employees of the company as reflected in the company communication attached in Exhibit 4. So let's take a look at these exhibits. Let's read through them real quick. It's very interesting right here. So this is from Mark Skaggs, who we know was brought over, worked on Townstar, and I believe he's been kind of elevated like chief of operating officer or something in Gala Games right now. So the Founder Nodes Awards Program, okay, says that the program is basically for team members on the game side of the organization, including tech, partner groups, game teams. The entertainment side of the org will also have their own version of this program. Because they're still creating the plan, they want this to be Fight Club, so don't talk about it. Here we are talking about it. People screenshot stuff, I guess. They have a mole inside Gala Games leaking info. All the team members will get 3 founder node licenses. So at the current cost, it's almost $300,000 of assets. There will be further awards according to the number of years you've been at Gala and your level of experience and seniority, so you can get more nodes. Your founder nodes distributions will be sent to your treasure chest. They will make yearly awards of additional nodes according to how good you are and your level of experience. New employees will receive nodes at basically 3 months of review. So after 3 months, they'll get a review, see how good they're doing. They might get some. So they have 8,000 nodes left in the pool is what they state here. They're going to give out 3,000 nodes right away, and then 1,000 nodes a year for the next 5 years. Going down to number 9, no licenses are active while you are employed at Gala. When you leave Gala, you will return that node license, but you will retain, of course, any kind of Gala rewards that you're getting during that time. And of course, that they're working on the details of the plan. They'll share more information as this goes. So that was back in May. And we know nothing has happened because we haven't seen the numbers change specifically. So it is a question of, well, is he planning on doing that with Thurston's nodes if everything plays out how they're desiring it to play out? Now, right, Thurston also put the whole superior legal thing in here. I don't really know why. It's a completely separate case. I think just to show that, or try to prove that Gala Games is, I don't know, not being cool. But that's totally separate. So this was in September. Mark saying news coming today. A.V. Steinberg said any update on the nodes. September 26th, Mark says, thanks for your patience, a little while longer. And then today, so I don't know when that is, maybe like October 1st or something. Hi all, it's been a while since I sent an update. Thanks for your patience. Taking much longer than expected to get to everything vetted by legal and checked to be 100% locked and set. Now we're in the last steps of double, triple, quadruple checking things. We'll return to dates. I can say this week as long as nothing else unexpected pops up. So is this week like this week or like in the next couple of weeks, or is this a Gala Games soon kind of thing where it's going to be a month or so? I am not sure. Now it really comes down to you as the community of, well, do you think it's fair to have this kind of employee incentive program? Having incentive programs is great in companies. Is this the right one to do? And do you think it's appropriate? Let's point out a couple node pricing structure things. Now, when nodes first came out, they were $2,000 each. I believe there was a short 48-hour sale of $1,000 each. And then as they sold, they went ahead and, we're almost at 19,295 nodes sold. Remember, 14,000 were Eric and Wright. So about 5,000 nodes were sold. They said, hey, we're going to go ahead and increase the price by $100 for every 100 nodes sold. Now, as time went on, this was December of 2020. As time went on, we got to September 21st, 2021, when things were really getting hot in the crypto market. And during that time, they said, hey, on October 1st, we're going to bump it up to $500 every time we sell 100 nodes instead. Basically saying that, hey, if we're at like $17,000, which I'm assuming is where they were at when they implemented this, I'm not sure, the next tier pricing will start at $17,500. Now we know this did not last very long at all before they went ahead and bumped this $500 up to $2,500 per 100 nodes. So the reason bringing up just the pricing and everything, which of course with the original pricing, I think it was supposed to be around $33,000 for the final node, is that, obviously there was about at least 2,000 nodes. When I do the math, it's kind of hard to say exactly without having all the behind the scenes info. Is about 2,000 of those nodes were sold above $50,000, right? And with the last nodes being sold at $95,000. So there's a huge discrepancy between people who bought at 2,000, people who bought at 95,000, and then, of course, Gala employees being able to run 8,000 nodes. Now, I'm just bringing that up because, somebody has to mention or try to fight for the folks who came in like so late and paid a steep price just to see that, actually the two co-founders own 14,000 nodes and they want to give 8,000 nodes to Gala Game employees, which would come out to $22,000 now, or 22,000 nodes. Now, I don't know if that, 8,000 nodes to the Gala Game employees really is supposed to just be from Wright Thurston's nodes, because then I guess now it's only 14,000 nodes that Gala, is holding back. But I gotta say, with every single divorce, what is like one of the number one complaints? A breakdown in communication. And that's where this is coming in again. Now, granted, I get it. You're on the back end. You're talking to your employees about some ideas you have. But if at the very beginning they said, hey, we have 50,000 nodes, 14,000 are being set aside by the two co-founders who've put money into this company, and we're going to put aside another 8,000 for incentives in the future for our employees, that's totally different. You know what you're buying into. The numbers behind the scenes, but you know, a lot of folks did not know that, especially latecomers, if there was any information about those early kind of 14,000 nodes. And a lot of folks might say, well, you know, everybody has the choice. They bought into it. They decided to pay that $90,000, but they also did it with the assumption that there's 7,000 nodes left to be sold. Top price was going to be 275,000 one day if it got to that point, right? And not that they would be the final purchasers. I think the only way to fix this is honestly for some of those folks to either get another founder node or some kind of thing like that, how they did with the Townstar nodes, depending on the purchase price. Now that's very difficult because of the limited number of nodes they have. But like I said, above 50,000, it was only about 1,900 nodes sold, so a small amount. Or they do some kind of extra NFT thing that, you know, boosts your rewards a bit on your nodes. I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, no, that's a horrible idea. That's bad. But I'm just trying to think of something that would actually smooth it over for the people who came in super late and for this to kind of be like the final line that we're crossing here. But I don't know. You let me know what you think down below. Leave me a comment. Send me a message in Discord. And of course, all this is based on the idea that, you know, Gala and Eric are going to win their lawsuit against Wright, which, you know, I have no idea, especially the nodes that Wright owns. You know, if he's able to turn those back on or sell them later, then, you know, so many different things can happen. So it could be, you know, some form of shakeup. Well, I really hope to get in the Gala Film Light Paper here soon this week as well, because I do think that's a great talk. As always, try to stay warm, Wookiees.